And by the way, there is some good entertaining stuff on this. I really enjoy the segment we're watching here. It of course received a lot of criticism. Terry Funk just hit Ralphus over the head with a chair, and then he pulled his pants down to expose his ass. And I think his shirt on the back says something like "Say no to crack" or something like that. They're going to go 3 minutes and 17 seconds here, and it's a retirement match. Funk is going to win, so he retains the hardcore title, and that means Smiley and Ralphus have to retire. Lots of cookie sheet stuff here, lots of fun stuff. And I know that it's easy to be critical and make fun, but I think every now and again, fun in wrestling is okay. And that's what Norman Smiley represented to me. And anytime I got to see Terry Funk on TV, I was for it. What do you think of a segment like this with a little comedy element and the use of a legend like Terry Funk?
Funk is so, look, I'm a huge Norman Smiley fan to begin with. And, you know, Norman Smiley in WCW and the Wiggle, and Norman Smiley, the Mexican lucha star, two different talents, but kind of the same with Terry. I mean, you look at Terry's career from not just the ECW, FMW, but going back to the World Heavyweight Champion Terry, you know, the 70s and all that. But at this stage of his career, the Funker knew how to perform for the TV audience. And it just goes to me, to his talent, that he, how do I say this? You could put him out there in his entire career with anybody, but here we are in the year 2000, and he's having, I'll call it a comedy hardcore match with golf carts and Ralphus, and Funker was a one of a kind, no doubt about it.
This is an entertaining little segment here. We got some questions from our YouTube I wanted to get to. Carl Hayes 933 says, if you could make a celebrity who has no connections to wrestling today champion, who would it be? Of course, he's asking this because of the David Arquette circumstance. Is there a celebrity out there that you think would do a more than passable job in professional wrestling and might actually help draw some eyeballs if they were made champion? Does a celebrity like that exist today in 2024 in your mind, Jeff?
I think if you could put the title, the women's title, on Taylor Swift, I have a strong feeling the buy rate would go up and the ratings would go up. I'm just maybe going out on a limb. But no, a celebrity, all kidding aside, you know, we've done so much crossover today. The athletes that would be interested in, you know, whoever is, I mean, they did the roast of Tom Brady. Can you imagine if Tom decided to do a one-off match? You know, I'm not saying he'd do gangbuster business because, you know, you look back to the 90s. Karl Malone and the Dennis Rodman were in the NBA finals, and they were, you know, involved in wrestling. So it'd be hard to pick one. You know,
Travis Kelce would do what you just talked about, though. If you bring out Travis Kelce and make him the AEW or WWE, well, it wouldn't happen in AEW, the WWE champion, you have Taylor Swift as his second. I mean, just look how the NFL benefited just from her being on camera, not actually doing anything
for seconds, like less than a minute total.
So let her be Miss Elizabeth to Travis Kelce. What about that?
Ooh, I like it. Sign me up. Sign me up. I'll put Travis over, and he can come in an AEW ring, and Karen will absolutely take a backdrop from Taylor if need be.
Can you imagine Taylor Swift hitting you with a chair shot?
Hell, chair shot, guitar.
That's what I meant. The wrong word came out, I guess, because we just watched a bunch of chair stuff. But yeah, guitar. That would have been hilarious. Brian TV says, do you think you would have been more palatable to WCW fans if you would have stuck with the Double J gimmick? WCW fans in 99 and 2000 didn't see Don't Piss Me Off and Slapnuts as a world title player. Do you think there were different versions of your character that were, you know, more than or less than? Or do you just sort of cut through all that and say, hey man, at the end of the day, it's Jeff Jarrett?
At the end of the day, it's Jeff Jarrett. And I'm wondering what he means by the JJ gimmick. Like, what the
world's greatest singer, the world's greatest entertainer. I think that's what most people think of when they think of Double J.
Okay. It's interesting. Say that. To me, I played an extension of my personality literally from the picture days of Simply Irresistible. It's all kind of been different stages, different presentations, but it's all been Jeff. Um, when I went down to AAA a couple of weeks ago and did The Last Outlaw, that it was, down there I'm known much more as King of the Mountain. At the end of the day, everybody that was from 90, whenever, I don't know what timeline you would say, but Conrad, you're better than this. Mid 99 to the day it closed, that era, who did get over? Like
Right.
who I mean, it was just a difficult because the brand, like we're watching Lex and Liz, and they have both been at the very pinnacle of the business at different times. But people, even Rick, we're seeing Rick bust in. This era tainted, if you will, a lot of guys' careers just because I think there's, and we've talked about this, a bunch of different factors. The online audience was growing slowly, but the AOL Messenger chat and all that, and WWE was so hot with Rock and Austin and DX and go all the way down the list. It was just painted with a bad brush, and in a lot of instances, rightly so.
Ric Flair coming to the ring here, and this is an interesting moment. Of course, the night before on Slamboree, he had been attacked, and everybody thought it was Vince Russo under the Sting mask, when in fact it was actually his own son, David Flair, and they, along with the help of Russo, crush a Statue of Liberty, little collectible over his head, and then the big reveal, it was his own son turning against him. So Flair's coming to the ring to cut a promo, and he's got what's known as the Vegas Big Gold. Once upon a time, when he took the big gold belt to Vince McMahon from the NWA got an injunction to say you can't show that belt on TV anymore. So they had him wear a tag belt, and they just blurred it out until Reggie could actually make a Reggie Parks version of the big gold. That belt is now on the wall of Triple H. And in his other hand was the 10 pounds of gold, the original OG one, just like the one that you won and others wore. But this is the original, Briscoe, Harley, Terry Funk, Dusty, Ric Flair version, also on the wall of Triple H. Flair cutting a promo, man. It's good TV no matter what year it is, isn't it?
It is. And people, again, I'm kind of going through this era. There was bits and pieces. When I think back during this era of my career, if you can kind of take snapshots out, yeah, that was good TV. Yeah, that was good TV. But when you kind of lump us all together, it's just painted with a different picture. But the Nature Boy in these days, like you could just see it right there. You don't even have to have the sound up. The passion that he puts in, and with him with the 10 pounds of gold in one hand and the big gold on the floor, and he picks that up, and the story that he tells, it's passionate. It's just, man, what an era this was. You topped it off right and said, we're going to talk about some complete chaos. What an episode we picked today.